In this quick video guide, we're going to introduce Rhino Grasshopper 3D, which is found in the top toolbar here in Rhino. So just click on this little green ball with the little grasshopper in there, and that's going to launch Grasshopper. So all you need to do to use Grasshopper is to have Rhino installed and up and running, and that's it. All you need to do is click on that button. Now, Grasshopper is an environment or an application that lets you work in this little Canva, and in here you can create programming, visual programming or visual scripting nodes with outputs and inputs and manage the modeling from there. So Grasshopper 3D, also known as Grasshopper, is a visual programming language and environment that runs within the Rhinoceros 3D, and it's within the computer-aided design industry, or CAD or CAD application. So it's used to do basically what is called parametric modeling. It means that we create or generate models using parameters, and in this case, not only parameters but also nodes or diagrams where we can put the information directly in that Canva, and we can manage the various parameters. We can change them back and forward without like disrupting anything. So it's a non-destructive environment in a way, which that what it makes it so interesting. And also, if you're interested in Rhino, you will find a video course in Rhino in the channel, and also other video guides explaining how to download and install Rhino. You have like many different ways you can do it, like evaluation version and educational version and so on. So once you have that, you get access to Grasshopper 3D. Previously, Grasshopper 3D was like an external plugin for Rhino and also for other software, and it needed to be installed as a plugin. But right now in Rhino 8, we don't need to do that. So the visual programming approach can be used by architects, designers, engineers, and many other people who work in many different fields. So not only like product design or industrial design, but you can use it for I don't know, yacht design, automotive, etc., etc. Now, before Rhino uh, included the Grasshopper application inside, you can see that it was it's still available, the Grasshopper for Rhino 5. So if you have like really old version of Rhino, you need to go to the Grasshopper website and get like the old versions. And also, if we make a search of images in Google, we can find examples, so we can visually understand. We can see what Grasshopper can do for us. And well, you don't need to use Grasshopper. It's not like mandatory or necessary if you want to create design or architecture. What Grasshopper does, it adds more functionalities, more we can say modeling techniques or modeling processes that we don't have like with the usual 3D modeling in Rhino, which works with NURBS, or in other software like Blender or Maya or 3ds Max. So it basically adds another way that you can model, and it usually used to create patterns, which can be regular pattern or also randomic. So you can create random design, kind of also organic, feeling when you generate with the random design. So you can create this wireframe structure like that uses basic shapes that are repeated more and more, and they cover an entire surface. So you can like distribute a geometric shape onto a surface and create a real complex surface. And you can see here examples of Grasshopper being used for jewelry design or apparel design, and in many different ways. You create structures, patterns, panels, distribution of elements onto a surface, etc., etc. And again, the beauty of this is not like sculpting or like the classic 3D modeling. Everything is parametric, so you can change it anytime. You can fix it. You can, make it different anytime. You can go back and forward, and that's gonna like be multiplied on the overall project, on the various surfaces of your project. So you find many different examples here in architecture and design. You can create facades. Uh, so also for automotive and apparel, you can create furniture. You can create little objects for industrial design or bases, anything that um, can come in your mind. And also for apparel design. Well, this is kind of more generic, and also like for automotive, you can create like maybe not the entire vehicle, but parts of the vehicle. So there are also forums if you want some suggestions, like the McNeil forum, which right now is the one for Grasshopper, again, because now everything is in Rhino or Rhino servers, so you can find it in the forum, in the official website, or you can search for other forums on the web, of course. If you just type, you will find other discussions, or here, this is the discussion forum in Grasshopper, but you can see that is not now in this directory. Has been moved in another position. So you need to have Rhino to run Grasshopper, and you can download the trial version for 90 days. You have educational version, teaching version, student version, and so you have other options as well. Once you download it, install, and you can see also the installation of that in another video previous to this. And once you have it, just click. You can run also the Grasshopper from the command bar, and you can open it up. Now we're going to do a video course in Grasshopper. We're not going to talk too much about Rhino, but of course you can use the two of them simultaneously, but we're going to focus more on Grasshopper. Now there are a series of like getting started information or tutorials where you just double click on the blue areas. If you scroll the scroll wheel, you can zoom. If you press the scroll wheel, you're gonna have that pop-up menu. If you click on the right, you can pan, and with the left mouse you can select move objects around or elements around in the Canva. And you can also move this. Is gonna be like a floating window. Now in the Grasshopper application, you have the standard drop-down menus where you have the basic uh, operations or actions, and then you have like things for display or to compute or preview, and then you have a help section in here, so you can access to the tutorial also from here. I've opened up the first one, the 0 from Rhino to Grasshopper, and then you have other learning resources. You can also see which version you're using and click on the question mark icon. And I'm using Rhino 8 in this video course, and I'm gonna use it in English. And so everything will be in English, but one thing you can do is you can change the language in Rhino, but it doesn't affect Grasshopper anyway. So all the various commands here, the geometry commands, and then we have math commands, and then we have all these, preset objects we can use and we can insert in our Canva, like vector, curves, surfaces, meshes, and then we have transformation, display, and other Rhino elements. And then you have also Kangaroo, which is kind of another application within the application. So it's complex environment as well. And here you can open and save, and that's the zoom right there. So everything is in English. Here you have visualization, sketch. You can change in the preview of the geometry. You can change the quality. So these are like adjustments of the Canva visualization if you want in there. And well, we're gonna continue with Grasshopper in the next lesson. All I wanna show you now is how you can set up Rhino itself. So if you wanna, you can see this is in Italian right now. And in the Rhino options, in the properties, there is a appearance panel, and here is where I can change the language. But even if I put in Italian, which is my language, I don't find Grasshopper in my language. Perhaps there is in your language, you can do a try, but in my case, you can see even though the Rhinoceros applications is in Italian, Grasshopper is still in English. So we're gonna do the course entirely in English. And again, we're gonna focus more on Grasshopper, but still we're gonna come back in Rhino many times because they work together. And the main objective is to create models in Rhino. So what we usually do using Grasshopper with Rhino is we split the screen into parts. So one part is going to be the part of Grasshopper. You can also leave it floating if you want, but usually what we do is create this split screen setup. So on one side you have Grasshopper, on the other side you have Rhino. You can switch them. I've put here on the left Grasshopper and on the right Rhino, but you can do the opposite. You can do whatever you want. And this will conclude this first lesson, which is just an introduction to see just a little about the interface and how we can start up. And in the following lessons, we're gonna discover everything about Grasshopper or many more things. So subscribe to Stay Updated, join the channel if you wanna support us, check out other video courses. See you in the next.